had, or share some of the goals that you have within your real estate business. People ask about what you're doing when you ask about recreation. The recreation, you can figure out a way maybe to tie it into business, but maybe not. But then the dreams is a great one also, to be able to share your goals and aspirations and ask for their help. You know, I have a goal. I'd like to sell 24 homes this year. There's only one way I could do that, Bob, and that's with your help. If you come across someone that's looking to buy or sell or invest in real estate, please let me know how to get a hold of them. Get their permission, and then let me know how to get a hold of them, and I'll follow up right away. You know, a lot of times they'll come back with, hey, I'd love to refer you business. I'll go ahead and pass your name on to people that I know. That's great, and I appreciate you passing my name. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, I mean, history dictates that if you give me their name, 100% chance I'll give them a call and they'll get fantastic service. It's, in my experience, if you share my name, the chances of them calling are about 50-50, and half the time they do so after they get into trouble. So the best thing to do is just get their permission, and I'll follow up, because a lot of times, you know, people go to open homes and they maybe fall in love with a house, but if they don't have adequate representation, they may get stuck buying a place that looks great on the outside, but has problems underneath the surface, things the listing agent didn't necessarily share with them because they wanted to get that house sold double-ended, right? So then they call you and go, Mark, I'm in trouble. Can you help me? It's like, why didn't you call me 2 weeks ago when you wouldn't be in this mess? So we want to let people know that the best way to get referrals. How do we get referrals? What's the best way to refer me a client if you have someone in need? And we have to educate our clients about this because they don't know any better. The best way to get a referral is you want to get the permission of the referring party to have me contact them, and then share with me their contact information. 100% I will follow up, 100%. Right? So that's the way you want to get referrals. Will it always work that way? No, but we have to ask, we have to educate our clients the way we like to work. So don't fear your sphere. Most of the work is going to come initially. A good chance most of the work that you'll get will come from referrals or directly from the people in your sphere of influence. Now, know the tools. Know the tools that you have to be successful. One of the things that we're going to be working on considerably throughout this course, throughout this month, is Command. Command is the new flagship for Keller Williams Realty. Like 10 years ago, we were a coaching, consulting, and training company that happened to be in the real estate business. Guess what we are today, according to Gary Keller? We're a technology company that happens to be in the real estate business. And what's our technology? Well, our technology is Command, right? Now, Command, what it was versus what it is versus what it will be, are night and day different things. So I know some of you may have interacted with Command some time ago, made a determination about what it was, and maybe that's kept you out of Command for the past few months. I'd welcome you to re-engage with that and see the progress that's been made, because I don't know, I've spent many years in real estate technology. I don't know if you guys know, but parallel to my career at Keller Williams as an agent, I've also been working with a company called Property Minder. Property Minder is one of the initial technology solutions providers to the real estate business. And in my 10 years experience there, everything is an evolution. So whatever technology rolls out today, the bugs are discovered and people are actively working to make things better over time. And over time, the Command is going to get better and better and better and better. So the faster we learn to embrace it and the faster we learn to use it, the easier it'll be for us down the road. And it's already included with the package that you have here at Keller Williams, right? There's no extra fees for leveraging Command. And really, there's things that are as good, of course. There's things that may be a little better, but I know that right now, for most of us in our business, this is going to be more than adequate for launching your real estate business. And Keller Williams is a very forward-thinking, business-oriented company. They respect you and they respect your database. And, if you do a database correctly, the database is yours because of you, right? I can't call your contacts and have the same conversation. I call Bob's friends. It's just like me calling people out of a phone book without Bob's endorsement. It didn't mean nothing to me. It's like calling random strangers, right? Your database only belongs to you because when you call those people, they know who you are. They answer the phone. They'll have that conversation. That's the power, okay? So your database is yours no matter where your names are tagged, whether they're on the company system, on your own system, you pay $10,000 a month to boom, whatever you want to do, right? So we're going to get to know command, and we're going to work in command pretty significantly throughout this course. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing because I think that command is going to be very useful, especially with creating that omnipresence and for keeping us organized with regards to our database. We'll get to know command. We'll get to know what all the lovely features do in time. We'll go over a little bit about it today. We'll go over tasks and action plans and things of that nature so then we can all get more proficient. I know this is something that I personally need to work on in my business is getting my database up on command. And that's one thing that I'll be doing for sure as we go through this, as I lead you through this process and we go through this process together. Any command experts out there? Anybody already in and using command successfully? Bob? Anyone else?
Brian and Kenny are both using it on high levels, I think.
Very good. How is it? Are Brian and Kenny here? I think so. I thought I saw both of them at one point.
Yeah, we're here.
Yes, sir. So Kenny, tell me a little bit about your command experience and how's that working out for you so far?
I mean, we do it daily. So, I do it daily. And so whenever we're making calls to our database and our sphere, we, try to do a good job of pulling it up, updating as often as we can. And
Do you update your record after every conversation?
just about if we can.
What are the benefits that you see or have you realized from using command?
It holds us accountable because we can also set tasks in advance that kind of remind us as to the next task at hand.
Okay. Anything else?
It also does a good job. It also does a great job of keeping us our dialogue intact, so that we know exactly what we had discussed.
All right. Track your conversations.
Absolutely.
Brian, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, it's been really great, especially the tracking part of it, and then doing consistently and making sure that we add tasks after every call makes it easier the second time around. So instead of looking for a context, looking for who to call, tasks automatically populate on my task list, and then I can just go down the list and just call. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to. I just click on the contact to see what we talked about last time. I call them right away. So it reduces the amount of time I need to think or plan for calling, and gives me more time to just call.
How long did it take you to get things set up on command?
It took a while. Going through my contacts the first time, it would probably be maybe 5 to 10 minutes per contact. This information, adding your contact information, then updating the notes and creating tasks, sometimes putting them on smart plans. But after that's set up, then this setup phase becomes much quicker after that.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, Yvette.
So I think twofold, two answers to that question. One, it can be set up fairly quickly as far as transferring your information from your phone or from your computer into the database. That's something that I know that Brian has a little bit of a service on the side that he helps people with if people need help. Because that was daunting task was looking at command and going, oh my God, I've got all this data to transfer in. How do I do that? Well, Brian had that done for me fairly quickly. Within 30 minutes to an hour, he had it done. But the second part of it is what Brian's talking about, where now you have to start calling. And you just have to take it like you'll start off with 10 a day. And then before you know it, you have your whole database set up. And then the next time you go into the database, you pull it up and it just immediately tells you what you should be doing the next time. So you don't have to think about it. The task pops up and the reminder's right there every single day, and you just start calling down the list that they have set up for you. So Command's brilliant. Using it is what's difficult for all of us in terms of actually putting it into action.
Now, is it difficult from a technical standpoint, or is it difficult to get the habit of using it?
That's it. That's what I meant to say. It's like with anything else. It's like everything you're talking about. If you ignore it every day, then it begins to pile up. So you want to do it consistently.
All right. Very good. And it's a great way, guys, to instill that consistency. When you open up a thing and it tells you, okay, you got to call these 10 people. It's simple. Just call those 10 people. The hard part's knowing what to say, when to say, how to say, and that you'll get in time as you do it more and more and more. So initially, right, we're going to build our database into Command. The first step is to get everyone you know into the system. Now, Brian, Yvette mentioned that you have some skills with regards to bringing the databases in. Where can we bring our database from into Command? Someone mentioned you can pull it from your phone. Is that true?
Anywhere. As long as there's one quick way to add a ton of all your contacts, really. You can put it on a Excel spreadsheet, save it as a CVS file, and then you can import. So in the upper right section of the screen you have up, there's an import button next to add contact. So those are the two ways to enter a contact. You can do it one at a time by clicking add contact, or you can click import button. And when you do that, it'll bring up a dialog box where you can download the CVS format to upload. So you can upload 10 at a time or 1,000 at a time. It works the same way.
Awesome. So that's step one, right? Step one would be A, opening up the command, and then B, populating the database. Populating the database with people you know, and we could do that pretty easily with the techniques Brian just mentioned, using the Excel spreadsheets to put in from your phone. We can bring them in from any previous database that we're maybe using in the past, Outlook, things of that nature. How about social media? Is there any way to pull your friends list from Facebook or LinkedIn? Do you know? I don't know.
I think there is a way to pull your friends' names and their emails. They won't always have their phone numbers, but you would have their names and emails.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So as far as the fields that we have with the command, we need their name and email it for it to work, or do we must have a phone number as well? Obviously, we want either or. Okay. So to get them in, you need one or the other, but then we really want both, and we really want a complete contact record, right? So when we're calling, that's one of our things that we may want to put in the back of our minds, people that may have some incomplete data with regards to the database. Maybe you're missing their birthday. Maybe you're missing a phone number. Now we have to think of creative ways or reasons to get that information.
And one nice thing about Command is that there is almost like a grading for each of your contacts, so green, red, or yellow, to let you know that green means you have a good, solid contact, meaning you have good information as far as having an address, phone number, and email. It gets down to red if you only have just one of those fields of information. So it's a good way to scan your contact to see which of your contacts need information, maybe it's a good person for you to call or contact.
All right. Very good. So the goal is to get everybody green. If you're calling people that are not green, it should tell you what you're missing. So we got to think of creative ways to get that information. All right. So let's talk about our Ignite toolkit a little bit. We have some tools that are with us that are going to help us with our business, and they're in your Ignite toolkits. So I'm going to stop that share. I'm going to share my Ignite toolkit. Let's see here. Can you guys see the screen? All right, your Ignite toolkit. So the Ignite toolkit's got a few things in there that are going to make our lives a little easier. Number one is the 411 template. Are you guys familiar with what the 411 template is? 411 is a goal-setting tool. It helps you get clarity on what you'd like to achieve in your life and in your business, and then it helps you to create the actions that you're going to need to take to achieve the things that you'd like to achieve on a weekly and then daily basis. That's what the 411 is. We can go over that more a little later. There's a buyer lead sheet that kind of helps you go through the qualification of a buyer. It's going to be used in Spark 7, but it's just a general lead sheet to help you identify what's important to buyers. The daily 10-4 contains goal setting for the 4 activities that foster the habits for a successful career in real estate. You use this tool daily to create your success lists and set goals. The daily success habits, an open house job aid. There's a pre-listing questionnaire in there, preview home jobs aid, resource jobs aids, and then a script book. The script book's in the back that'll have a variety of scripts that we'll need to master in order to help us generate more business, right? So this is what the 411 sheet looks like. You have your annual goals. You break that down to what you need to do every month to achieve those goals for the year. And then you're going to break down what you're going to do every week to move forward towards those goals. That's the 411.
That's funny.
We have, let's see here, 411 action worksheet. Go through. Okay. So we have our buyer lead sheets. You want to go through this to kind of help us when we're talking to a buyer, help them pre-qualify. We want to make sure we get their name, their email, their address, their names of their kids if they have any kids, and their phone numbers, and the best way to get a hold of them. And then some basic buyer consultation questions that'll help you identify who they are. Obviously, we're not going to go over this in detail now. We'll go over it at the appropriate course time to let you know that the resources are here. That in the event that you are calling today and you do get a buyer lead, you have that questionnaire for you. You know where it is, and you can make sure that you ask all the basic important questions that you're going to need to know to help fulfill those buyers' needs, right? We're going to need to know who they are, where they live, so we can follow up with them. We need to know how big their family is, so we make sure that we can adequately make recommendations for what they're looking for to meet their needs. The daily 10-4, right? The 4 habits that we need to do every day to help us conceive success in our business, right? We want to grow and manage our database every day. We want to prospect for new business every day, follow up on leads, and then know your market, right? So growing and managing our database, we're adding new contacts into our database. How do we grow our database? How do we add new contacts? Right, step number 1 is we're going to call people we know and ask for referrals. Right, how else can we add contacts to our database? Prospect, place ads in command, place ads on Facebook and whatnot, right? Variety of ways we can add contacts to the database. And then prospect. We're actually reaching out to our database, making our phone calls based on the scripts. We learned about Ford today. Excuse me, that would be a great script to leverage today if you're going to call a few people that when you call a few people today that know that you already know, right? Follow up, write handwritten notes. Very simple, guys. When you're calling and following up with people, right after you hang up the phone, you're going to hang up the phone, you're going to pull out a note card with your pen and write about your conversation. Dear Bob, it was great speaking to you today. Wow, I was shocked to hear about your newborn baby and your lovely new wife. I wish you guys all the best. If you know of anyone looking to make a move in real estate, please think of me. Business cards, put it in the mail. That's it. Right after you make your phone call, right after you have a conversation with someone, you're going to write them a handwritten note, thanking them for the conversation, put a little something in there about what you talked about, and then ask for business. Always ask for business. Never assume. Right? People might think you're too busy. They might think, oh, I know Kenny's a real estate agent, but man, he's always so busy. Is he going to have time for me? When you call him, you're going to let him know, hey, but you're important to me. So I'll always make time for you, especially if you value my services enough to share with a friend, right? We're going to prospect, speaking to the people in our database, write the handwritten note, and don't forget to document your conversation in command. So that way, because theoretically, I'm going to be speaking with 30, 40 people in the next week, and I'm going to circle back to Bob in about, 2 or 3 months, right? Next quarter, I'm going to call Bob again. Sometimes we're good at remembering every little detail, sometimes not. That's what the database is here for. That's what command is here for. You take the notes, and then you can have dialogue with them the next time you call. You know exactly what to talk about, because you're going to do the Ford script is pretty cool because you can do it over and over again. Maybe not every day, but over and over to the same person. But nevertheless, in general, it's a system of conversation, if you will. But if you're going to interact with people a little more frequently, you need something else to talk about. So don't forget to document things, document your conversations in command. So that way you know what to talk about next time. Right. And then know your market. Preview homes for sale. Now with our COVID challenges, things are going to be a little different these days. Actually, almost a little better. You know, one thing I'm noticing is a lot more agents are putting together better virtual packages for their listings. We're seeing more, I'm just seeing a lot more 3D tours than we've seen before. A lot more homes with more pictures now, because that's the way we do business these days. So previewing, I mean, nothing beats your firsthand experience, of course, but these days you're going to do a lot of previewing from your computer on the MLS and doing the virtual stuff, so you can see a lot more. Why do we preview homes? Why? Any ideas as to why it's a good idea? Are you guys all asleep already? It's been an hour. Everyone falling asleep now? I hope not.
Oh, so we preview homes sometimes for the sake of not wasting. Well, first of all, 2 reasons. One, I then come off as more of the expert because the person that's helping them out, because I'm able to eliminate some homes for them based on what I know that they hate or what they love. That's one of the reasons why I do it. First-hand customer care.
Very good. Right. You want to get to know your buyers. If your buyers have specific needs, it's a good idea to preview homes to make sure that those homes fit their needs before you pull them out to show them homes. We'll probably get into this later, but really you don't want to show someone 10 to 12 homes in a day. You really,
well, you know, Mark, I also, especially now, buyers are looking online and you just can't get the idea of a complex. Like I showed one client and she loved the place. It was a little small, but she would have made an offer and she would never have gone, because pictures, even though they are worth 1,000 words. It's not the same as going there. So if you actually know the place, you can, and you find out actually what the client finally wants, then you can direct them a little better, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, one of the other reasons, one of the big reasons I like to preview homes is you get to know your inventory. And a lot of times you'll see something that might inspire you, right? Oh, a home with a great view. Oh, I know a client that he mentioned he really appreciates views. Maybe I should call that client and tell them about this house I just saw because this house has a great view. Or this house has an amazing wine cellar. I know 3 people that are big wine connoisseurs. They totally appreciate this. I'm going to take some pictures and then reach out to those people and let them know about these cool things that I saw on tour today, or a cool bathroom design, or a cool kitchen design, right? We always need excuses to call and talk to people. Every time you preview a house, you believe me, if you're doing it, you'll find an excuse to call somebody about it. Oh, I saw this thing was pretty cool. Oh man, you'll never guess. This house is so dirty, I can't believe people are selling it. Whatever it is. Something to talk about with people. So it's a good way. Know your market. That's one of the reasons to preview. And these days, I know we can do a lot of it from our computer. All right. So the SPARK goals to set your career on fire. 10 contacts added, 10 conversations a day, 10 handwritten notes, and 10 home previews per week. 10-4. Oh, just realized what the 10-4 was. I love the acronyms. I love it when things come together. Huh? So the 10-4, we want to add 10 contacts. Guys, if you add 10 contacts a day, you'll sell 30 homes a year. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You'll be a real estate millionaire in Silicon Valley. If you can add 10 new people to your database every day, go do it. It's not easy, but it's a blueprint. If you can add 10 people a day, try 10 a week. Set goals for yourselves. But adding contacts on a regular basis to your database is a must. You want to have 10 conversations a day, right? We're talking about making the phone calls. It's not just about picking up the phone and making a dial, although it does show effort, which is a good thing. We want to make sure that we're tracking things that are going to build our business. And making a dial is a step, but it's not going to help build our business. Having a conversation will. So if you dedicate yourselves to having 10 conversations a day with people that are not in the real estate business, about the real estate business, you're going to have tremendous success. After each conversation, you're going to write them a handwritten note. It'll reinforce your conversation. It'll reinforce your expertise. And they'll see your face and name and business card again a day after you've called. It'll help you keep top of mind awareness. And then 10 home previews per week, right? Try to get out and see at least 10 homes. If we're doing them online, we could probably do 20 if we don't have to drive around. But at least skim the MLS to see what the market's like. All right, and also in your toolkit here, this is probably one of the biggest and most important sections of the script. We have a lot of role play and scripts that we can practice. Now, some things that we need to talk about here real quick is the compliance do not call list. Right, I think as an office, we are subscribed to the registry, update your call list regularly, and know the laws. What are the laws with regards to do not call list? Who can we call? Who can't we call? If it's someone in your database that know you, you can call them. You can call them. It's all about calling strangers with those requests. If someone has transacted with you, you have 18 months to call them. They have 18 months to let them know that your solicitations are no longer warranted, right, or wanted. If someone asks to be removed from your personal list, then you got to remove them. But if you've done business with them in the last 18 months, if they've called you and you're returning their call. So maybe if they reacted to one of your online ads, maybe they reacted to a Facebook ad, they've liked something or whatnot. If they've interacted with you, you have permission to follow up. There's nothing wrong with that. But once they've interacted, now you have up to 3 months that you can follow up with them. All right. So we'll do our lead play. After we do our scripts practice, then we do lead generation for an hour and calling our scripts. Then we're going to update our contacts and follow up for 30 minutes. Practice for 30 minutes just to review on your own what the contracts are. You know what you're talking about when you're putting deals together. And then know where to go to get help. We have a variety of courses on Connect and Command. We have an open house checklist, different things to get together for open houses. Now, we're not doing open houses right now because of shelter in place. Open houses won't be back for the foreseeable future. They will be eventually, I'm sure, but not for the next few months. So what else can we do? How can we overcome that? Let's brainstorm that as in our courses. Think about it right now and bring that to class with you in our subsequent sessions. Right, we can't do open houses. Well, how can we overcome that? How else can we generate leads? Open houses are a great source of lead generation because it's low cost, right? You have a nice listing, hopefully attracting buyers. Some of those buyers might be underrepresented, and you have an opportunity to earn their business, right? With some questionnaires in the toolkit, pre-listing questionnaires, things that you want to, these are important questions that you need to ask prospective sellers so that you know how to properly strategize their success. All right, we'll go over that in more detail as the appropriate course. So just a few things. To get you ready, get the most out of our courses. Now, obviously, you want to make sure that you have a phone because a lot of the lead generation we're going to start here in a little bit. You're going to need to make some calls. Want to see you guys attending the classes on a regular basis. Try to come every day. We're going to be rolling Ignite. It's going to take place most of the month of August. If you come every day and participate, your career will get launched. It's inevitable. We'll make it so. We'll be here to help you overcome objections. So that way, if you're making those calls and you're receiving resistance, we'll be able to handle those issues right away so that your subsequent calls will be successful. Right, make sure you have the credentials and access to your command database. Make sure you download the Keller app to your phone. And then track your progress every day. Make sure that you make your 10 calls and have those 10 conversations and document those and make those 10 handwritten notes and send those out. Right, we have some checklists for previewing homes, things you need to think about as you go through, understanding the market and the homes that you go through, pricing and evaluating. Something to think about every time you preview a house. Also something to think about for your clients as they're viewing homes, because they need to get practice of evaluating. They're going to be making offers on properties. They need to know what's what. One of the best ways to do that, and one way you can train your clients, if you will, would be to let them know that, hey, every house that we walk through, I'm going to ask you what you think it's worth. Whether you like it or not, don't like it, want to make an offer. You need to get Mr. Buyer accustomed to evaluating value of homes. So after every home I show you, I'm going to ask you what you think it's worth. It's a soft close too. If they like it, what do you think it's worth? Or would you like to make that offer? Always have to ask for business, guys. Even if you don't ask for business, some of it will fall in your lap. When you start asking, your results will be exponentially greater. right? So know where your resources are, where the job aids are, right? If you need help with command, you know where to get that help. Srini and Maha are amazing people that have volunteered their time and effort and energy to help us integrate command, and they're going to be helping us in our sessions here. See, Maha came on. I'm going to give the floor to her in a minute here to talk about command. And then, you know, one thing with regards to command, hopefully you guys are all set up on command. And if you're not set up on command, you need to get with your agent services coordinators. Lovely Olivia and lovely Jacqueline, who are happy to help set your command up initially and get you going. All right, you have your script book in here too. So it's a pretty big resource, a lot of information in the toolkit. You want to have it handy for all your classes because we're gonna get into it in almost every class, one way or the other. There's going to be something there. All right. Any questions on the toolkit, guys? You guys have it. You know where it is. Review the information. If anything pops up during the courses, obviously, I'll bring that up with your instructors at the time, or in the after sessions when we're talking about lead generation or whatnot. So we have some of the learning modules in the Spark, right? We have the orientation. We have our lead generation model. Understand scripts, set up your database and feed it, set goals that matter. Let's talk about goals for a second. When we talk about goals, we want to make sure that we're challenging ourselves, guys. When you're making a goal, I would ask yourselves, what is the likelihood of achieving that goal? If that likelihood is 100%, maybe we should try a little harder, expand those goals. In reality, you really want to have when you're looking at a goal that you set for yourself, you know, if you're saying to yourself, though, I have a 50-50 chance. If I have a 50-50 chance, that's a good goal. You're pushing yourself. We want to push ourselves, right? Deliver your value proposition. What is your value proposition? That's something you have to ask yourself and answer for yourself. That question is, the question is, why would someone work with me to help them buy a home today? Why would someone hire me to sell their home today? That's your value proposition. Right, we're going to find and win the buyers, working with sellers, a day in the life of a real estate agent. Right, those are what we're learning in our Spark modules. And the elemental modules, also pretty kind of similar, prospecting, marketing, open houses, and actually delivering our appointments with our sellers and buyers. Learning how to negotiate offers, basics of how to help negotiate transactions, and the financial basics. Right, those are going to be part of elementals. Right, the Sparks will come first, then come the elementals, and then we're going to work on our daily 10-4. Right, the 4 things we need to do 10 things on a daily basis. Grow and manage your database. Try to add 10 new contacts. Prospect, speak with 10 people in your database. Right, if you have an ideal situation, an ideal day, you'll talk to 10 people and they'll give you 10 people to add to your database. Right, how do you get people to give you, how do you add people to your database? Right, you need a reason, always need a reason. Why do people want to be a part of your club? Why would someone want to be a part of your club? You got to ask yourselves that question and then create a club that people want to be a part of. Buyers and sellers. And to get the most out of the Spark, right, divide the rest of your day between growing your business and running your business. We'll be together most days till about 11:30 noon, till about lunchtime. So going through the Spark Ignite series, or Ignite in general, will basically cover your calendar in the morning. Then what are we going to do in the afternoon? Now, I challenge you guys to be calendared, if you will. Leverage that calendar, right? We're going to block out the time for our lead generation and working on our business, and most of that's going to happen through this Ignite session, through these Ignite sessions. So from 9 to noon, your calendar is booked with growing your business through Ignite. But then we have the afternoons, right? If we're successful in lead generation, we're going to need to conduct listing appointments. We're going to need to conduct buyer consultations. We're going to eventually need to show property. So we need to dedicate time to do these activities. So you post out your calendar, dedicate the time that you're going to fulfill your duties. When can I go on listing appointments? When can I work with these buyers? Right now, from 9 to noon every day, you're going to be with us at Ignite. So from noon, you're going to have lunch, or maybe at 1, and then in the afternoon, have some slots for appointments. And then when you're lead generating, the goal is to book those slots, right? You already know what times you can meet with buyers. I can meet with buyers Tuesdays at 3 p.m. or Wednesdays at 1 p.m. or Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. When can I show buyers? Well, I'm showing buyers. I can show a buyer on Wednesday afternoon and Friday afternoon, and then Saturday, Sunday. On Saturday, I can show 2. Sunday, I can show 2. And bust those slots out. When can you go on listing presentations? Put those slots out. And then do everything you can to make sure those slots are filled when you're lead generating. Simple. Then practice and learn what to do when you're, delivering those presentations. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And then track your success. Hopefully you guys learned something today in our orientation. You'll learn a little bit about what to expect over the next few weeks. Does anyone have any questions, concerns? Hey, Nate.
Yeah, no, it's just time to get it done now.
Presentation. I'm sorry, go ahead, Yvette.
I was just saying, it's just time. The hardest part is always just executing it. So now it's just putting aside the time on my calendar to make sure I get this stuff done every day.
Very good. Any other ahas? No, that's it. Just get to doing what you got to do. Sounds good to me. Right? Just reflect, guys, that we do have some systems. We do have some tools for you guys to take advantage of as we go through these courses. Right? And we want to get in the habit of doing the things that will make us successful. And that's adding contacts is the most important thing. When this COVID is over, we have COVID right now, so things are a little more challenging. It's not like you can go to the mall and talk to people until you get 10 people to give you their information. You can always do that. Pretty simple. Right? How do you add 10 contacts? How do you find 10 people a day to add to your database? Number one thing you're going to need is a good hook. Why does somebody want to be in your database? What's so great about being in your database? You have to answer that question. What will people know? What will they experience for being a part of your tribe? And then you'll have a great reason to get their information. We have the tools to empower you to get the job done, by the way. We have Command. We have Kelly. What do those bring you? They give you information, right? If you set your prospects up on Command and you hook them up with the neighborhood updates from Kelly, they can, what? Feel secure about the value of their home, maybe? Right? If people are homeowners, they definitely want to be a part of your club. Homeowners in my club get a CMA. Homeowners in my club are absolutely notified of new listings that come on in their neighborhood that's important to them. Right? People want to feel secure in general, right? You feel secure about the value of your home. It's a great lead in. Who else do you know that wants to feel secure about the value of their home? Do you know any other homeowners? I do know some homeowners, Mark. Great. Do you think they would benefit from my services? Fantastic. Let me know how to get a hold of them. Love to add them to my database. Right? Yeah, tell us 10 conversations a day, your 10 written notes, and your previews. We have the scripts in your toolkit there. You want it important to learn, internalize, and personalize those scripts for your business. So we're going to take some time to review those. And we do them to lead generate. We're going to uncover people's motivations. When we're calling our sphere, we're going to learn about their family. We're going to see if their family's growing, or if their family's contracting. Identify any objections and close deals. Mr. Prospect, would you feel comfortable referring me business? It's a very simple question. Someone might say no, and that's okay. It's okay to say no. That's fine. You don't feel comfortable referring business. That's okay. Is there any specific reason why? Is there something I can work on to make myself better, to earn your trust in the future? If they say yes, then fantastic. Then you share with them the best ways to get those referrals. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. The best way to refer me business, if you don't mind, would be just to get your friends in for permission, and then reach out to me with their contact information. All right. You guys want to take a little break? We've been at this for about a little over an hour. You guys want to take a little 5 minutes to grab a cup of coffee, use the restroom if you need to? Yeah? Yeah. Bob said,
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back. And then I would like, I know Maha, we talked about this. If you'd like to talk a little bit about command, that'll be relevant to us as we start the journey at Ignite. Some of the basics.
Sure, I
Awesome.
can do that. Okay.
So you'll start with us in 5 minutes.
Oh
All
boy.
right, guys, let's go. Let's get back at 10:30. So it's 10:25 right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the restroom. All right. Welcome back. Sometimes we need a quick 5 minutes. I know I had like 3 cups of coffee before starting today. But thank you guys. Maha, I'm going to give you the microphone here and unmute you. And I would love for you to talk a little bit about command.
All right. Let me see.
Would you like to share your screen if you need to?
Now I'm working with 2 computers right now. One to be able to have the virtual screen behind me, and the other one I have some slides and some other work. But I can briefly talk about command. Hi everyone, Monday. So command, right now we cannot network, we cannot do any open houses. However, we still have to find new leads for our business, and we still have to carry on with our sales. So command comes into play where you enter all your contact and you set up smart plans to keep the touches to all your contacts. It could be by regular emails, text, maybe put neighborhood around their homes. And that's what I've started to do. I feel like anybody had bought in 2014, they're now considering to sell. And I can say I'm talking to 4 clients, past clients right now, considering selling right now, either upgrading or moving to different areas. And with all the COVID and the economy and employment changes that everybody has to work from home, a lot of people, for example, I have a client who's been in a condominium and they had all the amenities and they've been paying HOA and they're not getting to use their gym or the pool or anything. And now they're really considering to buy a house, which I'm finding it's logical. And they have 1 kid, my scenario, 1 young kid about to get into the school system. And they're thinking, okay, if we have to do homeschooling, we need an extra room and extra space. So that's what's been going on right now. So I started to go and set up a neighborhood nurture for anybody had bought from me. And it just give them information about the current market. It probably get them to think, is it a good time to sell or not? So that's a potential listing and potential purchase. As far as comments, the smart plan would really make it hands-free from you calling or texting, because it's gonna show them that you're active and at the same time keep them informed on what's going on in the neighborhood. The second thing, which is more important, is the design. When you use the design, we're not allowed to do flyers anymore, but all the business is going online, social media, campaigns, and this is how you're gonna reach more people while you're sitting at home or while you're not going networking anywhere. You all know that I network all the time from my events. So now I started also to join different groups online. There's something called Internations, where you reach out to a lot of people are moving in the area and they're not knowing where to go, what to do, just to create that connection with them and eventually put them on your database. And yeah, if you're thinking to rent in this area or buy in this area, here is little information on it. Try to be thinking out of the box, and whatever you do today, that's what's gonna make you successful the next 4 or 5 years, because we're going on completely different shift. And if you get into the habit to be more disciplined, no matter how big you're in a business, I am not disciplined at all. It's just whatever something come up, I'll leave what I had to do and I would never go back to it, unfortunately. But if you get into the habit to make the calls in the morning, which I'm trying hard, that will set your business. No matter what shift, whatever goes up or goes down, you're always gonna have business in the real estate. So the design also, it's something that you can send to your client, or you can even do a post about specific neighborhood, which they have a little animated videos that you can quickly basically customize it to specific area, and it will show them what's in this area. Is it hiking? Is it restaurants? Some information showing that you're always active in the market. Even if you do not do business at all, you do not have listings and you have some buyers, whenever you go show a buyer a house, take a snapshot of a nice kitchen and put it up there. I'm not closing a buyer, but I'm showing them for the last 3 months, and I'm taking picture and putting it on the social media. It gets the people to think about you when they're thinking about remodeling or they're thinking about real estate, because you're putting something about the business and something about your social life too, to connect to the people easier. So I like the design for that as well. There's a lot of templates, and there's tons of them right now. They're putting on command that you can easily use them and post them into your regular social media without paying a campaign. Come to the campaign now, you can always brand yourself. You can always talk about new construction and make a small design and make a paid campaign, and you might get somebody is interested to look at new homes. So that's another source of the business. Opportunities. Once you have somebody, you're showing them houses, start to put them on the opportunity. I feel like when you put it in opportunity and you kind of estimate what kind of commission you're gonna get, it makes you more positive. It gives you good vibes that you see, oh, you're gonna have a check. So whatever you show them, how long you show them, it just keep you more into the mind of you're gonna close that business. And eventually, once you start with opportunity, it would close into compliance. So that's a good habit today too. If you start with buyers or with listing, eventually you will close them and you would go into the compliance, which is gonna be replacing the sky slope. And one last thing, if you have time to play with the consumer app, I don't have time. I'm getting all kind of positive and negative feedback. But if you are a new agent, you can always put it in your signature, and you can always do a design, make a design and send it on a campaign. It could be like regular social media, and people will click on it and it'll get people interested as well. So the consumer app too is something they're working so hard on developing a lot of things in it. And I think eventually it's gonna become big as well. So that's what I wanted to basically put the biggest things that can help you in your business, whether you're starting, whether you're in the middle, like average, or whether even you're a high producer and you don't have time to touch everyone. Let Command do it for you, basically through the smart plans. And we're gonna try to push a little Command 15 minutes training on each of the next sessions, because in every session in your business, you can apply something from Command. That's it. 5,
Thank
10
you,
minutes.
Ma.
Yeah. Any
That's
question, please send me, put something in the chat, I'll answer, or text me. Me and Shirini, we're ready for any of your questions as well.
Outstanding.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank
Short
you very
and
much.
you're welcome.
All right, guys. So we're going to get to know Command really well, I think, over the next month, especially if you're, take the time to come to the courses, please. I know you'll get a lot out of it. Once you're in the course, we're going to be interactive. We're going to teach you about Command, how it applies to the course that we're working on that day. And we're going to go ahead and take those positive action steps that are going to fill your pipeline. They're going to fill your appointment book and get your real estate business into that grow mode, right? Get to critical mass. because even if you're at critical mass, you always want to keep lead generating. It's freedom. When you know that you have more leads coming in, the negotiating that you do with yourself for things that will compromise your values it goes away. When you have one client and you don't have prospects for any other business, and that client starts messing with you, starts asking you for things, starts asking you for concessions and money and things that are unpleasant, if you don't have any other business, you're going to start acquiescing to those requests. You're going to start working for less. You're going to start doing things you don't want to do. You know what I mean? Working for people they're not happy to work with you. Yeah, if you're lead generating on a regular basis and you have a steady pipeline of leads, then if someone's mistreating you, you just kick them out the door.
Yes.
Move on with your life. On to the next one. Because those people are going to drain your energy, and at the end of the day, bring you down. And at the end of the day, they're going to take your money from your pocket because they're going to always ask for discounts. Right? When you have a full lead pipeline, those people can quickly just shove them away. Because your family's going to be fed, because you have plenty of leads. The leads that you're going to get, they're going to close. You're going to close business on a regular basis. So the person that's directly in front of you, if they're not playing by your rules, out the door they go. And the next one that will play by your rules. And the way that you do that, and the way you can have that in your business, is by having abundance of leads. And how do you have an abundance of leads? You spend the time generating leads every day. And that's what the habit that we're going to instill in this here in our Ignite series. Now we're going to do, if we were in a classroom right now, we'd break out and do our script practice individually. What I'd like for you guys to do is just refer to your Spark orientation, the packet that has the scripts. And the scripts that I'd like for us to review today is the scripts that Bob and I went through briefly. The first script, coincidentally, in the scripts toolkit, and that's the Ford script. Right? We want to get very familiar with that dialogue and learning how to use the Ford script to help get what we want. So if we go to I'm going to change this here. Let's share a different screen. So in your Ignite toolkits, guys, you have your script. I suggest you guys download these, by the way, so you don't have to keep going through the air decks. It's a lot easier to manipulate these in PowerPoint. Not in PowerPoint, in PDF. All right. So page 5 of the script will get into the first basic of calling your database and working with the Fords. Just I'm ahead of me. Okay. So the Ford script, family, occupation, recreation, dreams. If you're a new agent, you want to let people know when they're asking about your experience, how excited you are to be a new agent in the real estate business. You want to let them know who you're working with and why you're working with us. And then give the people some confidence in your abilities and ask for the business. Is everyone comfortable with the Ford script? Everyone understand? How we are with as far as the database goes, if we had 10 people to call, are you all ready to make those phone calls? I hear someone talking, but I don't hear what they're saying. Who's? Hello, hello. I know someone's trying to connect. They're calling from a cell phone. I don't know if you have a specific question, because we can't understand. I can't understand what you're saying. If you could put it in the chat box, that might work. I can't make out what's saying. Someone unmute them. I don't know if they're talking to us or if they have a specific question. If you don't mind, you can say. I'd love to address it. You can email mark@bursteingroup.com or ask the question in the chat box. Does anyone else have any other questions about Ford? Let's see, we have one in the chat box. No questions. Very good. All right. Let's get to it. If we don't have any questions and we know what to say and how to say, I challenge you guys to spend the next hour reaching out to your database, going through a Ford script, and seeing if we can identify someone whose needs are approaching that wave, right? Identify people who might be in the need to make a move themselves. If you identify that, hey, this person is not moving themselves, then maybe they know someone that wants to make a move. So if someone doesn't want to make the move themselves, maybe they know someone. That's when you ask for a referral. And if they don't have someone, or they do, either way, the last portion of your dialogue should be doing something to strengthen your relationship with them. Invite them to lunch, invite them for coffee. Invite them to receive some special information that you'd like to share with them regarding real estate, their neighborhood, or the value of their home. If people are in your database, they don't have your mobile application, your mobile app, you want to make sure you share that with them. And guys, whenever we're offering something of value, it's a good idea to maybe take a notebook out and kind of write down the benefits of what you're selling. So that way you can express those benefits to your consumers. It's like, sure, Mark, I'd love to be part of your database. What do I get for being part of your database? What's the benefit? Why do I want to be a part of your database? Well, you get my newsletter. It'll help you feel secure about the value of your home. You know, when you're driving around and you see a for sale sign, you wonder how much that house is worth or how much they're asking for that house, but you don't want to call the agent and hear the spiel. You just want to know. Simple. Just open up my app that I'm going to give you, and it'll give you the information you're looking for. Right? That's the benefit. Access to information. What information? Property values, new listing information. If I'm a homeowner, why do I want to know what my neighbor's house is selling for? Because that's what my house is going to be worth, right? Maybe educate your prospects. If you ask them the question, hey, do you want to know what your neighbor's house just came on the market? You want to know what they're asking? If they say no, why not? Don't you want to feel secure about the value of your home? Yeah, I'm never selling. Okay. You must love your neighborhood. Love my neighborhood. What do you love about it? That way I can help others that are maybe considering a move. Great, I love all these things, man. That's a great place to live. You know, I'd surely appreciate it if one of your neighbors was thinking about moving, you think of me and figure out a way to get us to introduce each other. Right. So you want to make a list of benefits, right? What are the benefits? So that when you're making your calls, you can overcome objections and you can make your appropriate pitch. And then we want to document, right? So let's have a challenge, shall we? Who's up for a challenge? No one? No one wants a challenge? Should we make a list of our benefits? Tomorrow, we're going to have a great course on lead generation. So you'll get a lot of great ideas of how to generate leads. And it won't be from me this time. This time, the class will be taught by 3 of our young up-and-coming and established lead generators. They're going to share with you their secrets. So you definitely want to be there for that. And then you'll have more ideas of how we can attack our database. So the challenge is show up to our course throughout the month. Let's be interactive with this course. Let's show up and be on the videos. I know some of us aren't morning people. That's okay. But I'll challenge you to come to courses and turn your video on so you can be up for the learning. I want you guys to have 10 note cards handy, because the challenge is going to be, we're going to see who can do the most handwritten notes. Over the next week. So you're going to bring your note cards. We're going to have our video on. You're going to show your note cards that are blank. And then after our session on lead generation, and you go out and make your calls, you're going to write your handwritten notes. You're going to show it. Mail them out. We'll think of the best way to track this over the next 24 hours. Well, so you can send out the most handwritten notes. The goal is have a good conversation. With every good conversation that you have, you're going to write down a nice handwritten note to document your conversation and appreciate the time and the referrals that those prospects are going to give us over the next year. How does that sound, guys? Does that sound like fun? Does that sound like something you guys want to do? Challenge ourselves a little bit to generate leads?
Leads are good, yes.
Yes? Yes. All right. So thank you guys for today.
Well, thank you for the training.
Yeah, the most important part about today is that we want to get things ready and prepared for our Ignite series. So I would challenge you today to get your database ready for calls. Okay, let's get commands set up. Let's get in. Let's get logged in. Let's get familiar with the fields and how to input new people in. So that way when we make a call, if your database is already in there, then you're going to call from. If your database is not in there, every time you make a call, you're going to have people. Everyone knows at least 10 people. You got to have 10 people to call. Make a list. Call your mom, call your sister, call your brother. That's 3 already. Only have 7 more to think of. Okay. After you make the call, you're going to input them into command and get them going on a smart plan. Write a handwritten note, send it off, and on to the next one. If we can do 10 of those a day, I guarantee that everyone here will have at least someone in escrow in the next 45 days, 30 to 45 days, for sure. For sure. So let's think about the command. Let's think about how we, get familiar with it, how to input people in. And tomorrow, when we come to course, we're going to learn from Amanda Vang and Wilson Koo and Davis Tran. These guys are three of the. When I do compliance, I see their names all the time. That's because they're constantly doing transactions. So those are the people we want to learn from. We're going to learn from them. And then we're going to get together afterwards. And we're going to get together. We'll do some script practice. We'll do some role playing. I'll be happy to demonstrate. I'm sure that our instructors will also be demonstrating throughout their courses so that you guys feel comfortable when you're making your calls. And then we're going to spend an hour making calls. And then spend another 30 minutes after that doing those handwritten notes. Actually, we're going to do it. I recommend doing it congruently, right? Once you're talking to someone, you have your pen and paper handy. You have your conversation on the phone. Once you hang up, you write that handwritten note, put it in an envelope, boom, on to the next, and then go for the next one. And the goal is 10 a day, if we can get 10 a day. And whoever can get the most, we'll think of a good price. All right, guys. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate you very much. And I look forward to being on this journey with you over the next month through Ignite. I know the instructors are excited, and I hope you are too.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Diana.
Thanks, Mark.